Okay, let's go ahead and break this lick down. So this is kind of a tough one as far as like the picking arrangement and also the choice of notes that I'm utilizing in this lick. So this is in more of a dominant 7 kind of flavor as far as scale goes, and this is something that I wanted to incorporate to help you guys kind of change it up. So basically with the dominant 7th, it's like a major with a minor, which is kind of weird to think. So if you were to break it down, essentially there is I believe a flat 7 in a major chord. So if we were to do something like, let's try right there, right? That's in a B7 dominant, or B dominant. Usually you'll see like the B and then the 7, which refers to the dominant. So if we were to go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, that would be the flat 7 right there. Because that would usually be the major. But in this case, it causes some interesting tension, and why I'm bringing this up is that it really is essentially in the context of like a diminished scale. So if we remember how to play a diminished scale, let's do that B, right? And the reason why we're only doing like 2 notes per string, and I always think of it as like how we do a minor pentatonic. We're only choosing 5 notes out of the minor scale to create this minor pentatonic. And the same thing kind of happens when you're doing this with a diminished run like that. Basically, in order to create this diminished run from, it'd be a whole and then a half, and then it starts all over again. Right, so we got a missing note right there, and that right there. Those 2 notes. So if we were to do it in like in numbers, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so what we're doing is that we're cutting a few notes in it, kind of like in pentatonic. So when we do this, we're missing the right there. When we go into there, as right there, that note right there, and then we go here. We got that, missing that. So we're basically playing for to complete it. And why do you say this is with the dominant? So let me see. And there's one note that I changed in that scale, and it's going to be that note right there. Right? So that would be a B again. But so basically, in this, we're changing it to a flat. And essentially, you're basically playing diminished, but you're flattening that one note in there, and then all of a sudden it turns into like a dominant 7. So if you remember the diminished pattern, you kind of can utilize it throughout, and which is why I used it for this particular run. So you have, and then you go and continue. Otherwise it would have been right in diminished, but right there. This one's a little bit harder because you have a bar. If we were to create it into a diminish, right there. And then the next one is And then if we were to create that into diminished, and then that one right there. And then this is probably the hardest part of the this entire lick is this descending. I'm messing up already. It's been a long day, but essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 notes, right? And then you go into the shift. And that's the note that's hard to get in this whole context is the and then it goes into a string skipping minor, and then shift back, and then ends in E. So that's the part that's kind of hard in this whole thing, is just basically the way you pick all the notes in here. So it's basically the ball is in your court. Essentially, you can choose if you want to alternate pick or if you want to hammer on some notes. And then the harder parts is the bridging of the notes here. So you're barring. That can be kind of difficult as well. So there you have it. Go ahead and give this a shot, especially if you're switching between diminished and you want to add in that dominant kind of flavor. It kind of changes up the tension to very scary tension to, I guess, interesting tension. But I'll go ahead and break it down slow so you guys can see what I'm doing.